welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is someone who I'm very happy to have with me as we discuss Tomb Raider and A Simple Favor. It's Megan Hoffmeyer.
Hello.
Now, Simple Favor is getting great reviews, and I wanted to call this pod the Tomb Favor instead of Tomb Raider, Tomb Favor.
I can see that. What would that mashup movie look like?
I bet, Blake Lively wants to get rich, so she gives Lara Croft the map, and then she tries to double cross her. And then Anna Kendrick's there, filming it all on her vlog.
Okay. I would buy the tickets for that movie.
If Paul Feig directed it, I'd love to see it.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's great at that whole cross-genre, humor genre balance, so...
I mean, he was on a podcast, and he said that he loves, on Happy, Sad, Confused, he said that he loves genre movies because it just gives him tropes, and so that gives him an automatic story to tell, and then he can just focus on writing because the story tells itself.
Well, there's the action-adventure genre is definitely full of things he could play with, for sure.
Imagine Melissa McCarthy in an Indiana Jones movie directed by him.
Imagine her running away from the giant boulder.
That'd be amazing. I want this movie. But no, I guess the reason we decided to talk about these two films is that with Tomb Raider, I mean, it did make $273 million worldwide on a budget of $94 million. But it didn't make much money in the States. It did like $45 million, and it was only about 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. And we noticed that a lot of critics were calling it lazy, or boring. But it's none of those things. It's a fun yarn. This is a movie with booby traps, Walton Goggins with a beard, boat stuff, Daniel Wu from Into the Badlands actually being seen, and everyone's like, hey, who's this new guy, even though he's been acting for 20 years. But this is like a fun yarn. We originally watched it on Airplane. I thought it was pretty good. But then we watched it again on our big screen, and it's just so much better. Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. I had to not read the majority of the reviews because they're just so condescending or mean, and I feel like the reviews are too easy of this movie. There are a few good ones out there.
Yeah, Matt Solar Sights from Roger Ebert, right?
Roger Ebert. Variety had a really good write-up on it where they actually dove into the movie and admitted this is obviously a game-based movie. You're going to get some game elements. You have to suspend your disbelief for a moment. But then they break into the different elements of the movie and they really appreciate it for what it is. And I think that's a lot more fair than just going, it's too much of this or that, or it's not what I wanted.
It's a Tomb Raider movie. She raids a tomb. Very literal. Both these movies are very literal titles. A Simple Favor and Tomb Raider.
A Simple Favor, but not so simple.
Yeah, that's right. So we're going to talk about those two movies. Obviously, there's going to be some spoilers, but we're going to talk about Tomb Raider first. Then we're going to jump into A Simple Favor. So if you haven't watched A Simple Favor, definitely watch it and come back and listen to the second half of this podcast because it's a very good movie, and we're going to talk, about the production, about the acting, all that kind of stuff. You're going to love it. But we just wanted to kind of get into Tomb Raider and Alicia Vikander kicking ass.
Yeah, she's awesome in this movie. What I love right off the bat, and as I've read more and more, we don't really play games, but it's based on the 2013 Restart video game where they kind of go back to her origin.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it's a younger, or seemingly younger Lara Croft. I did actually read that she was older than Jolie when Jolie played Lara Croft the first time. She was 26 and Vikander was 29.
Oh, wow.
But she's playing a seemingly younger version. And we don't have Dr. Lara Croft yet doing her badass thing. You've got a young girl who hasn't gone to university, who's trying to figure things out. She's still got an issue with her dad being missing. And she seems more innocent. She's not the total badass.
Yeah, she gets marmalized in her first fight.
Yeah, she gets beat up. She goes to boxing rings. She
steals apples.
She's a bike courier.
Yeah, and she causes a lot of property damage. But before we get into it, this movie was written by Geneva Robertson, Dworet, who wrote Captain Marvel. So She's written Tomb Raider and Captain Marvel. And then the other guy's Alistair Siddons, who wrote Trespass Against Us, which was a Michael Fassbender movie. So I wonder if Fassbender brought in one of his homies to do some touch-ups on this script.
That's an interesting idea. I'm really excited for Captain Marvel, so it's nice that she's already written one pretty kick-ass female.
And then this was directed by Roar Uthaug. He's a Scandinavian fella who made The Wave, the $6.5 million movie about a big wave hitting a small Scandinavian town. And he does good. He does good on this movie. I think he keeps it really... It's not like a Michael Bay action film. It's not like the first Tomb Raider films where Jolie punches sharks, which I love. Or She has the most insane... a lot of people have messaged me and they want me to figure out how expensive the training montage in Tomb Raider is. In the first one, where she's running around her house, stuff is blowing up with all the robots.
With the glass walls and the laser guns. Yeah, that would be neat.
I mean, that would take me a long time. But yeah, people keep messaging me about that. But this is definitely not that movie. And I like how in the beginning, well, actually it starts off with Dominic West, who plays Lara Croft's dad's voiceover. And we both decided he should read audiobooks.
He would be fabulous. I was a little bit sad to see that some of the publications called him the unconventional heart of the movie. But Dominic West is awesome.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
I don't think we've ever seen him in something that we didn't like his performance.
Now, in my notes, I don't want to hate because some people did, but I did write his look was a little cast away. And he went a little crazy for a while. But that can be forgiven for the later scenes with him and Sprout.
Yeah, he does a great job. Something you were saying before about the action film feel of this, one of the articles I read was saying that he really tried to film her in a powerful way. You've either got the camera looking up at her as she runs, or it's down at the back of her head while she cuts her path through her world. Oh,
wow. So he framed her powerfully.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool. This Roar, he knew what he was doing. And I know we keep saying we read in articles. We have our own opinions. But I do like that Forbes talked about how Vikander and the director are going to come out better because of this. I mean, she carried the movie. She proves she's an action star. And then that guy Roar, he handled a $95 million budget just fine, which I like.
Yeah, it really does have... I love the action sequences. They're a lot of fun. It keeps the movie moving. We've mentioned this before, but never really gone into it. But it's a movie that just doesn't stop. And that's fun and exciting to watch as a viewer. It doesn't feel like it lags or you're sitting there going, well, how much time till I can get out of here?
Yeah, I mean, we learn about what the Tomb of Himiko immediately. Then we learn about the evil, the Order of Trinity. And then we learn that he was being chased by someone. And then when, Laura finally signs off on her dad's death because he's been missing for 10 years? 6 years? 6 years.
7, I think.
7 years. So he's been missing for 7 years. She signs off some paperwork. She gets a puzzle, which I kind of love. She solves it immediately. Kristen Scott Thomas is in this movie, all shocked. And then before we know it, she's in Singapore.
On a boat.
Hanging out with a very buff but drunk Daniel Wu.
Yeah, I think the one bad thing about this movie for me was that there wasn't more Daniel Wu because he's just so entertaining and likable and he's a great action star. Yeah,
if you haven't watched Into the Badlands, you need to do it right now. And so when we watched this movie, we hadn't the first time we didn't know who Daniel Wu is. He's a big actor. He's been acting for 20 years, huge overseas. He's done a few things here, but people don't really know about him. So we see him, we don't really know who he was. We kind of liked him, but then we watch Into the Badlands. I'm like, we got to watch Tomb Raider again because of Daniel Wu. And I think he says my favorite line in this movie where he helps her solve part of a map. He figures out some things are clock hands. And she's like, hey, you want to go on an adventure, like a Hobbit style? He's like, I can't. I'm a busy guy. But he's just a drunk.
Doesn't he follow that? Well, I have things to do or something like that. Just very vague.
But he's a busy guy. He can't be bothered.
So busy.
But I don't know if you like this. Remember, so she's a bike courier, and she gets involved in this fox hunt where she puts a little foxtail on her back, not like a furry. And then
on the, sort of where the flag for your bike would be?
Yeah, so she puts that there, and then they put a paint can on her bike, and they put a hole in it. So this paint can has to, if the paint can empties, she gets $600, but if they catch her, the other people get the money. And she caused a lot of property destruction. I wasn't really a fan of that.
She also caused a lot of public defacement with that paint everywhere.
Yeah, I guess that's what I meant. She did over a couple miles, probably, right?
Yeah, and it was neon green, too, which obviously that plays well on the screen, but it can't be great for historic sites in London.
I mean, who's going to take that paint off?
Hopefully it was water-soluble?
Yeah, maybe if they get to it quickly. That's a lot of work, though.
It is. Oh, for somebody, for sure.
Am I getting older? I don't like these romps where they think they're being fun, but they're actually giving other people jobs, doing things illegally.
No, I think it's pretty rational. We appreciate property.
But, she's rash, this Vikander. She's...
Oh, definitely. Especially because, and it's hard to be on board with her in this, not lower class, but living more frugal lifestyle because she's got access to a fortune out there. She's just not wanting to sign off the paper saying her father's dead to get to it.
And she's stealing apples.
She's stealing apples.
From a very nice gym owner.
She also delivers, what was that, hot food for an Indian restaurant?
Yeah.
They seemed like very nice people.
Oh, yeah. There's a scene where she picks up some food and they all want this guy to ask her out, but he doesn't do it. Then they all chastise him. It's pretty great. But no, you know what? We should start off by saying Vikander's the best, isn't she?
I mean, I'm definitely a fangirl for Alicia Vikander. I can't even come up with the words right now.
Who's better than she is? That's unfair.
There's people who are better in different things, but as far as dramatic, I mean, she's one of my favorites. She did Ex Machina. She was fantastic. We watched Testament of Youth, which was a period story based on a true memoir that was just really moving.
And Dominic West is her dad again.
Yeah, I had a ton of our favorites. Kit Harington.
She's a good actress.
She's excellent.
When I heard that they cast her in this, I was like, all right. Like, not like in a weird way, the way I kind of said it. I was like, this is good cat. It was inspired.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't looking for, Jolie times 2, who she does punch a shark in Tomb Raider 2, which I love.
Yeah, I think I saw something about the director saying it had to be her.
Yeah, so that was pretty interesting because he pitched this movie first. And then when he became the director, they looked at her first. And they're like, well, how'd you know about Vikander? He's like, well, I'm Scandinavian. She's Swedish. He's like, I've been watching her act in movies for a long time. A Royal Affair. He's like, I knew about her before Ex Machina. So I've always been a huge fan. She was like the first pick. And Daniel Wu, too. He wanted Daniel Wu in this movie.
That's interesting.
And Daniel Wu was like, he's like, do I have an accent? He's like, no, you don't have an accent. He's like, okay, I'll do it. Because, I don't know, I thought it was pretty interesting because he's so big. And, this movie pulled in, I think, 100 and something in China. 100 million in China. Based on Daniel Wu. Because he's huge.
Yeah, he's a leading man over there.
Yeah, so I mean, well, I know people are saying, Crazy Rich Asians is great, but Daniel Wu...
The one thing lacking about Crazy Rich Asians was that Daniel Wu wasn't in it.
He should have been in there.
He definitely should have been there.
This movie was filmed in South Africa, and he's like, oh, it's great because I just have a house there.
Yeah, I saw something about Vikander's husband, Michael Fassbender, and... Dominic West surfing between takes.
I mean, it was a nice location.
Sounds terrible.
Imagine being out there hanging out with Dominic West, Vikander, Walton Goggins. Just drinking some Elmer T. Lee with Walton Goggins.
That would be fun.
He's a good dude.
Oh, he seems great.
And I like, what I liked about the villains in this movie is so she eventually decides that she needs money. So she goes to her company and she signs off on his will saying he's dead. And she gets this puzzle. Then she goes to this underground office that has a camera that has a really great battery that's been working for, what do you think?
7.5 years. He would have recorded it sometime before he left.
Yeah, so it's been sitting in that secret office for that many years. And he's like, if you're reading this, I'm dead because I'm hunting for the tomb of Himiko. And
I have personally never been that lucky. I have found cameras in drawers here, and I turn it on. I'm going, oh, I can see it. It's great. And then it immediately dies. So
yeah, we need to know what camera that is. So she finds out he's dead. She needs money, though, so she goes and sells something. And this takes her to Nick Frost, who's in Into the Badlands with Daniel Wu. And she burns his taters. She puts coffee on his lap and burns his taters.
They have a wonderfully saucy little interchange. And his wife is fantastic. I especially love her at the end because she knows more about the weapons than he does.
Yeah.
That's a fun touch.
I don't know why. She hit coffee on him, though. That's a pretty... he's a jerk to her.
Oh,
and he took $2,000 off the top.
Money off of her amulet that she needed.
And I guess she wasn't lying when she said her dad died. Because literally he did die.
She wasn't lying, and she told him that amulet was worth a lot of money.
Yeah, and then she burnt his taters.
Yep.
Which, definite improv. Because I don't think anybody would write that line, in the script.
Except Nick Frost.
Vikander hits coffee. Nick Frost stands up and says, you burned my taters.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it to see his taters placed there. Were they hash browns of some sort? Were they just chips or...
No, it was his taters.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, not like potatoes.
I've never watched it that closely.
Yeah, he's like, you burned my taters.
Oh.
Yeah. Balls. You didn't pay.
No, because I wasn't looking that closely at the screen then.
I mean, that'd be funnier if it was you burn my taters and they pan down to show some tots.
Yeah.
With coffee on them. Like Napoleon Dynamite style.
Some curry and chips.
Oh, that'd be good. And then coffee falls in it and splurts on them.
Oh, that would be gross.
I mean, we're really building the scene here. No, I think he was talking, he was using that term for his
sensitive parts.
Yeah, that's right. So, I lost what we were talking about with villains, but I'll get there in a little bit.
Oh, I have read something interesting about villains. The fact that Goggins is never played as over-the-top, hit-you-in-the-head evil. He's just kind of sleazy, and he'll do whatever it takes to get himself home. I thought that was nice.
He's middle management, too. these guys aren't in charge. They're stuck there until they find the tomb. So he's been there for 7 years. He's like, I just want to see my kids. He's probably gone a little crazy. I mean, is he with those mercenaries for 7 years?
Loosely, yes. I think the idea is that there's high turnover and he keeps killing them because he's a little bit crazy, a little bit quick at the draw.
I know some had been there for years because they met Daniel Wu's father. So
some of them.
So like 40 people have been hanging on an island for 7 years.
Well, they can't really just go abduct people. So isn't it that they just wait for ships to wreck or get near them and then they take the people and enslave them?
Yeah, I mean, but wouldn't it be easier for the mercenaries to help? If this company has billions of dollars, right? Wouldn't it have been easier just to send like echocardiograms? And I don't know what that would do. But like sonar, radar, coffee makers.
To that point, wouldn't they have been able to rotate different head people out? I mean, Goggins could have gone home for a year. Somebody else could have come in and taken over, but...
You don't want your staff going crazy.
No, it's probably not the best for morale.
Maybe they just didn't like him.
That's very possible. He seems like kind of a jerk.
Yeah, so maybe they just left him there. And maybe they rotate the mercenaries.
Yeah, that would make sense because he does call on the radio and they bring in a chopper... Technically take him out is what they think they're doing. But somebody has to bring supplies, right?
Yeah, I'd assume
more
dynamite. Yeah, because they're blowing stuff up. It's not even that big of an island. What have they been doing there for 7 years?
Searching.
It's not that big.
All over the island.
Well, I guess it's slow work.
I mean, they also didn't find Dominic West Cave, so...
Yeah, you're right. So, all right. So she goes to Singapore... She has a whole scene where her bag gets stolen by some kids. It's a nice running scene.
I love that scene. Yeah, it's a little quick romp around the docks there. And these kids obviously don't expect her to go after them. And something that I thought was really interesting was, it was mentioned a few times, how the production designers and the director really thought about how a smaller woman would fight bigger opponents. And she has to really leverage speed. A lot of times she has to plant her full body weight on someone in order to immobilize them or get somewhere or hurt them. And she fights dirty because she bites that one guy.
Oh, yeah. And I like this scene, though, because it shows she's really capable of she gets her bag back from the kids. Mm-hmm. But then they pull knives and she's like, I'm out of my league. And she runs away. So it sets up that she's really capable. But it sets up she can't really
she's just
de-knife 3 kids.
She's not the badass who no one can touch yet.
But then this leads us to meeting the drunkest buff guy outside of Jason Statham from the Meg.
When he falls off his ship onto that looks like it would have really hurt.
So Daniel Wu comes out. These kids have Vikander cornered. He shoots his gun up in the air and the kids are like, he's drunk again. Get out of here. So these little gangster kids run away and then he just falls off the second level of the boat onto the ground. Then he wakes up in a toilet and she's spraying him with water.
Yeah, that's something that was definitely to be noticed about this movie. The action felt very visceral. There were a lot of grunts, or it felt like someone was really feeling the pain in those moments. Yeah,
I mean, you watch some of these movies where people get shot, or they get, I think, I forget what movie it is, but there's a scene in a movie this year where a guy gets shot in the stomach and then 3 minutes later he's sprinting. In this movie, when you get hurt, it sounds like when Vikander falls, she lets out some pretty good grunts.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely some oomphs and some really...
What did she say about this? Didn't she say, or didn't a critic say that you felt everything with her?
Yeah, they called it, they said her physicality was impressive.
Yeah, I mean, no, she was awesome. I thought she was great. But then she teams up with Daniel Wu. And then they get on their boat. They find out that both their dads, quote unquote, passed away looking for the tomb of Himiko. So they decide to take his boat on a mission to Skull Island. I don't know what's the name of the island.
That's a great question. I can't remember. It's one of those things you just...
King Kong is there, has a horrible reef. So they're on the boat. The boat wipes out, crashes. He gets sucked off, but then she takes one of the biggest jumps of 2018 from the boat and lands in the water, which is a good shot. And they built that scene on they had some water, Olympic swimming compound.
Okay.
And then they built the boat. And they put on a gimbal. Do you know what a gimbal?
No, what's
it's
a gimbal?
It's like a gimbal. They just place the boat on top of this mechanized thing that rotates it around. So they put it on a gimbal. And then they just bombed her with 3 kids. everything. So I think that was kind of a cool scene.
I know that this part of the scene it was most likely computer generated, but where the boat is completely underwater and she has dove into the water and lightning strikes above and you see everything lit up underwater. That was a cool visual.
I'm glad they didn't show sharks.
I think it was a bit too stormy for the sharks.
Or she could punch it, like in Tomb Raider 2.
Yeah.
But no, the director said he wanted to do everything in camera. So when you watch a lot of this movie, you know, like there are special effects, of course, but a lot of it is her. And they built the boat. So a lot of it is as much as they could, they got, which I respect.
Yeah, I read that too. The fights really lean on real performers and props that they're using.
They built that Singapore set in South Africa. And then Daniel Wu was like, it was so realistic, I wanted to go to Singapore and get some food because I missed it.
Aww.
Yeah, but then they also, you know, he has a TV show where they build large houses. It's a reality show in China.
Daniel Wu does?
Yeah.
Oh,
so he's like, yeah, it was great because
cool.
I have a house there.
Or we're going to have to go look that up on the internet after this.
Tomb rating. Wu rating.
Wu rating.
All right, so she gets to the island. She's kidnapped by Walty Goggy, who his name in this movie is Matthias, but I'm calling him Walton Goggins.
It's more fitting.
And then Daniel Wu is Lou Ren, of course. But I don't know. I can't call Walton Goggins Matthias. He's just Walton Goggins.
Yeah, he's Boyd Crowder.
He's a Southern gentleman in Ant-Man 2.
I think his breakout performance is in Sons of Anarchy, though.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, he's good in that. People love him from Justified. Or Hateful Eight.
And wasn't he big in, what was that show before? The Shield.
The Shield, yeah.
Yeah, I think people really knew him from that.
He was gross in Predators. He's like he was just talking about a lot of rape jokes.
I can't even remember if I've seen that. I saw it, right?
Yeah, Topher Grace is the serial killer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I wrote a post. If you want to go to moviesfilmsandflicks.com, look up my post about the unnecessarily large trap in Predators. You'll love it. I broke down every aspect of it. So they get to the island. She's tied up. Daniel Wu is working with a shovel. They find out that they've been there for 7 years, and Walty Goggy's gone pretty crazy. Which you would. It's hot.
Probably.
There's a lot of lizards.
Well, and you're frustrated because you haven't found this thing that's keeping you from coming home.
Yeah, you haven't seen... Your kids probably don't even know who you are anymore. Frustrating. So, they're there, but eventually, Daniel Wu takes a shovel and starts beating dudes up, gets shot, but she escapes. Which leads to probably my favorite set piece of this film. Where she jumps off a cliff, goes through some water... And then she,
she falls off of what was a log bridge that was kind of over this chasm.
Yeah. Into
a river.
And then she grabs onto this rusty. You know, I was watching this. I kept worrying about tetanus.
No, you know what it was? Her hands were tied together with rope.
Oh yeah.
And it caught on a piece of I read about it, World War II Japanese bomber.
Ooh.
Known by the Americans and Europeans as Nell.
Interesting. All right, so yeah, you did some good data. So she's hanging on this thing. I'm worried about her getting tetanus.
Oh, she definitely is going to have to get a tetanus shot.
Do you think she had a tetanus shot recently, her character? She's kind of feral there for a few years.
I don't know. I mean, if she wasn't pursuing a full-time job, she probably didn't have benefits. I don't know what healthcare is like in England, but probably not.
We're getting old and we're worried about tetanus and green paint cleaning up. So she's on this plane. But I love this scene because some of my favorite action scenes are when things just keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So on our podcast for Resident Evil, if you've listened to it, there's a scene where Alice, she's walking around the corner, Mila Jovovich, and a zombie dog sees her. And she's like, holy crap. So she runs into a room.
Oh, that's in the first one,
Yeah,
right?
She runs into a room, turns around, there's a zombie that she has to fight. And she's like, holy crap. And then she escapes that room because a dog jumps through, and then there's 5 dogs looking at her. So that's a fun scene. I like the kind of funhouse vibe of this. And so this movie, she is stuck on it, then she gets inside of it, and then it flips upside down.
Yeah, that's where she realizes the plane is going to fall, and she goes, really?
Yeah, and then the plane does fall.
Yes, very far. Yeah. Down a waterfall.
And then she of course lives.
Into a jungle.
Because that'd have been a weird movie if she just died.
Piece of shrapnel sticking out of her side.
Yeah, another forgotten gut wound. That's the only unbelievable thing in this, because she has a pretty good shrapnel thing in her
Well, she
gut.
carries the blood stain for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
And her dad treats her when they meet back up.
You know, when I clip my fingers too far, I scream. So if I had a chunk of metal in my gut...
Oof.
And Mandy, that happened too.
Yeah, I saw even some of the favorable reviews were saying that that's the type of thing where that you realize this is based on a video game. And in the video game, I guess she actually does have that wound.
Oh.
At some point. So it's very much based on that story. and you just have to suspend your disbelief there.
Oh, I guess with the realism of this movie, there is a lot more focus, but then you see a gut wound. Like, I guess she become Vin Diesel overnight.
Yeah, the director's intent was to make this more human than a lot of other video game movies have been. So you've got Vikander, who can bring that emotional complexity to a situation and to her character. And you're not overly worried about the video game elements, but you still have to realize that they're there.
Got it. And a lot of her running with the pickaxe, I feel like that came right out of the movie. She has good running form. She's like Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I saw one great comment saying that they humanize her in the way that Harrison Ford did for Indiana Jones.
Yeah. I mean, whenever he definitely has some brawls, but he always looks tired.
Yeah, and they have some emotional weight to them. She's concerned about this relationship with her father, but she goes through all these stages of not believing he's dead and then being mad at him, but also forgiving him and eventually accepting it all.
Oh, we left out how she got off the plane. She grabs a parachute, falls down the waterfall, and then pulls the cord. And then she gets hit by about 14 trees.
Because obviously this is a World War II plane, so the parachute has not been inspected in quite some time.
I kind of like when she was going through the trees, just going, just getting whacked by it. So yeah, then she gets down, then she has that thing in her gut. And what I like most about this movie is... Like, it does have an on-location vibe. They really use South Africa well. Like, when Walton Goggins sweats, you're like, that's not spray. Sometimes in movies, you have to spray people's face with, Evian spray. They have this Evian spray that you use. So in this one, when Walton Goggins is sweating, you're like, that dude's hot. Right? You can feel the sweat.
It's gritty. It's not overly clean. I don't like it when you watch a movie and it's supposed to be grittier and they've got just pieces that are too new and clean.
Yeah.
This does a good job with the realism on that side.
Yeah. No. Let's go watch it again. I love this movie. So she lands. What did you think about... She runs around, but then she gets attacked by a henchman in a bog. What did you think about the bog fight?
I was going to mention that. So back when Daniel Wu caused the diversion and she was going to escape from their base camp where they were looking for the ruins or how to get into them, when she escapes, Goggins turns that henchman, I don't know what his name is, Mike or something...
Mad Dog.
He turns to him and says, Mike's gonna go get her.
Yeah.
And then Mike does get her. And imagine, we just talked about all the things she went through. And he just shows up. This guy's good. Goggins knew he had a man he could rely on.
How do you think he did it? So he knows she went down the water. And then he probably sees that the plane is gone. Which he had probably seen before, right? So then maybe he looks down and he sees tree branches get messed up by the parachute?
Or he just kept his ears open because she probably made a ton of noise.
Yeah, she was grunting a lot.
Well, and all the branches she was breaking.
But he wouldn't have got down there that far.
I mean, if he took a direct path, if they were higher up and he went down the hill, I mean, maybe.
I mean, he's good. He's like the guys from Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
He's truly impressive. You can tell why Goggins sent him.
Yeah, but then he loses the bog fight.
But that was really interesting, too. I saw some mentions about how that death, when she kills him, it's a gritty fight. I mean, she's really going for it. She has to fight dirty. She has to bite him to get a hold of the knife or gun, whatever it was. She has to use her entire body to push him down into the water to drown him, essentially. Mm-hmm. And then afterwards, there was one critic who really loved that she paused and took on the weight of killing someone for the first time. Because a lot of movies, especially action movies, treat death so callously. You just kill people and you keep going. But she really lets it affect her for a second.
I mean, she just drowns a dude in muck.
Yep.
And I wrote a note.
That's got to be a gross way to go.
I did say, I mean, what's going on? He's like, man, I tracked her all this way. Then I die in muck. But every time he hit her, though, it felt real.
Yeah. Like it felt painful.
He walloped her. And she definitely did the grunts to let you know about it. And I guess... She had him in like a weird rear naked choke type thing. Put her knee on his back. It works.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the water was deep enough that if she could keep him submerged. Maybe that muddy stuff is really hard to get out of too.
Yeah, I mean, I would hire Mike though.
I mean, I've walked through some Florida swampy water. That mud will suck your feet right in.
I went running on the sand one time and it was a little... Remember that time when I went running early in the morning?
Yep.
That was horrible. Because the sand just squishes a little bit.
Yes, definitely wait till low tide.
My calves were screaming at me. I was like, all right, Mike. But I would hire Mike. If I had a mercenaries for hire.
Oh, yeah. If he was still alive at the end of this movie, definitely.
If I was a bad guy, I wouldn't hire him as a good guy. I wouldn't trust him. But if I was a bad guy, he would definitely get a job. And then, guess what happens next, Meg?
She meets up with her dad again.
Dommy West.
In his
McNulty.
cave of collections. It's like Ariel's cave in The Little Mermaid.
A lot of tchotchkes in there.
Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat?
So does he carry all these tchotchkes up?
So I was wondering that when he had the rope that he climbed up into his little cave, and there's no ledge, really. It's just right into the cave. So I was thinking that as I looked around this cave of his, there's ladders, and there's buoys, and there's all kinds of large objects in there. He must have either tied them to his cell, or just tied them to the rope at the bottom, and then hoisted it up after himself.
A pulley system?
I don't know, but I was thinking about that when I saw how full the cave was.
He got up that rope really quickly.
He really did.
He was fast.
Well, I mean, she got up that rock face pretty quickly, too. It reminded me of Wesley in The Princess Bride.
Yeah. And
I was just waiting for Fezzik to be at the top.
Carrying 3 people?
Yeah.
And have him yell, hurry up. But I kind of like what he says. He's like, normally you disappear, but then she doesn't disappear.
Oh, I love that line.
Yeah. And then he's like, so I'm just glad you burned everything. She was supposed to burn everything. And I'm glad that they'll never get to the tomb.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, I didn't do it. So right now, Walton Goggins.
Yeah, he's combing through the journal and going, aha!
Yeah, and he's very, very sweaty.
I can finally go home.
Yeah, so then they know where it is. So then he's like, crap, you idiot. Like, I love you that you came here and saved me, but you're a dum-dum. He's like, you're too stubborn. And so we were talking about this earlier. He's like, you should not find me. Of course she's going to come find him. He should just be like, listen, you got to come find me. But first you have to read through, don't read through these 10,000 pages of documents. Reverse psychology on her.
And I think that's really the drive that makes the movie move along. It's her need to find out what happened to her dad.
Yeah.
No matter what. She just has to keep digging and find out. So I think it moves the movie along quite nicely.
But then she doesn't listen to him. She grabs a bow and arrow and she starts lighting dudes up. Kills about 3 mercenaries. Daniel Wu beats up dudes with a shovel. A gunfight ensues. All the people working there go. But then she and Dominic West, Lara, Walton Goggins, and 3 red shirt mercenaries go into Himiko's tomb.
Don't mess with an English girl who grew up on a manor. Her bow and arrow skills are fierce.
So how long do you think this tomb took to build?
Oh gosh, it's elaborate. And one of the things that initially bothers me about the tomb is when they solve the puzzle with the dials and the wall breaks in and it drops on this really elaborate staircase that obviously people took a long time building with marble and or granite and other semi-precious rock.
Yeah, they didn't think that through.
Yeah, that's horrible. I mean, why wouldn't it just be a door that opens?
And dynamite couldn't blow that thing up, which is interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what it's made of.
Couldn't they have just blown it up?
I don't know, but as they walk through this thing, it is elaborate.
I mean, there's a temple. There's
that long hallway with the spikes that come out of the floor and the columns.
So they had to build a temple in a cavern.
Inside what I'm assuming would be a dead volcano, because it's completely hollow down in the bottom, right? So that would probably be an old volcano.
So they had to send everything down? All the rocks and spikes?
Everything. All the stuff that they build staircases and walkways and columns out of.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's a whole different debate than taking things up a pyramid to build it.
But while watching this, though, I just wrote, I love a good adventure yarn. Because in this, there's spikes, there's a chasm of souls, where there's a chasm, and they do this ladder to get across it, but underneath it, there's 1,000 dead people. Just bones laying everywhere. Yeah. And then they go along, and then there's 1,000 handmaidens that died, too. So 2,000 people.
But they had it a lot better. They had their own cubby and a little bed, and there was a lace veil over each one of them.
They had to build each cubby. They had to build 1,000 cubbies.
Yeah.
So 1,000 handmaidens are hanging out there. There's 1,000 dead people in the chasms.
You know what struck me about the color puzzle room? That is a one-trick pony.
Mm-hmm.
Because when the floor starts falling away, it's gone into a pit. It's not coming back to reset itself.
All these people had to do, though, was just kind of stand at the edges.
Well, they didn't know the floor was going to fall.
Yeah, you're right. So that happens. They do a color puzzle where all the mercenaries, Walton Goggins, everyone's working together, which is kind of fun. Then they find out the true color is green.
Oh, yeah, to bring back life, so blue and yellow.
Green is very featured in this movie. Green paint, green top.
Life.
Yeah.
Because everything they were searching for was death.
But there's a green color palette. That's smart. So they have that. They get through. They find the tomb, and they think it's something supernatural. They think that she was like a demon or a curse. But turns out she they
thought she had some sort of magic that would kill people.
But she just had some crazy...
She was a carrier for a disease.
Yeah, and if you touch her, then you just get all gross and die.
So I mean, that was an impressive disease.
They entombed her there to keep her away from the rest of the world. So they, don't take me away.
No, she chose.
Yeah.
That was, I think, it was her choice to be isolated from the world and entombed so she wouldn't cause death.
But she still had to take 2,000 people with her.
I mean, you have to be properly revered as a Japanese shaman queen.
Yeah, so they open it up. Mercenaries die. Dominic West gets cursed.
Oh.
Yeah, that's sad.
I know. After all that.
And then that leads to a good fist fight between Walton Goggins and Vikander. They really took it to each other.
Yeah, she came flying at him from across the chasm.
Oh, that was awesome. Yeah, she dives on this ladder, and then she kicks it off. And she's like, you're not getting out of here.
Oh, and she does this really awesome pull-up onto the ladder because she sort of dives onto it, grabs it, and then pulls herself up very quickly and puts a leg over it. Yeah. I was impressed.
That was a gangster pull-up. Then they have a good fight. She gets hurt a lot.
Oh, they both do. I mean, he's about to kill her, too.
Yeah. And then, what happens?
Her dad blows up the chamber.
Right. He gets killed. Oh, no, she shoves the gross finger in his mouth.
But I think that's because he was about to kill her with the axe.
Yeah, and then she gives him the disease.
Yeah, he had taken Himiko's finger, off of her dead corpse, put it into a plastic baggie in his pocket. She grabs it and then she punches his mouth.
But isn't he a carrier now? So if he's laying there...
Himiko was a carrier because she was immune to it.
Oh.
It couldn't hurt her. Now he's just going to die of it because...
But won't it be laying around?
No, they collapsed the whole thing in there.
Oh, yeah.
And he died, too.
They're not getting to him. So, yeah, he gets out. She gets up. They meet up with Daniel Wu. And he
pulls her out of a dusty little hole. And she has an awesome ascent scene where she grabs on the, what was it?
Oh, yeah.
Automated zip line.
Yeah, something like that. And she goes up and giant rocks are falling at her. I'm more happy about the Daniel Wu action moment.
I love when all of the former slaves want to flee the island, and Daniel Wu goes, no, I cannot leave Laura behind. She's my buddy, can't do it. And they go, okay, we're going to go with you. Your dad kept us from getting killed. That's such a nice moment.
Yeah, and then they go back, he helps her. She would have been stuck in those rocks.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that, yes, there's an emotional undercurrent to this movie, but it's a lot of dad stuff. It's Laura and her dad. It's Lou Ren and his dad. It's Goggins being an absentee father.
Oh, geez Louise. Normally, it's not really... There's not many daughter-father movies. I feel like there's a lot of son-dad.
Yeah.
Daddy issues movies.
I think the best one we saw in recent times was, Interstellar?
Oh, yeah, with Murph.
Mm-hmm. Oh, gosh, that one kills me.
Yeah.
That one scene.
Murph. So, I don't know, but at the end of the movie, this is fun. You want to watch it again. I liked it.
I was super happy. I just love the vibe. Laura is really cheeky. She's young. She's not the best at everything. She's not posh and serious and I'm such a badass, no one can touch me. She's gawky and she doesn't get it right, but she's trying really hard.
Yeah.
And she's funny.
And she makes mistakes.
Definitely. She gets beat up a lot.
Would you recommend this movie?
I would definitely recommend this movie. It's just a really fun adventure.
Yeah, I love a good yarn, and this is a good yarn. And it has a cool moment where Donnie Wu, Daniel Wu has a sweet action hero pose.
Daniel Wu has said that Donnie Yen is one of the people who got him into acting.
Yeah, and Donnie Yen was great in Rogue One. And,
yes.
And a bunch of other movies, of course.
So what was the action moment?
Where he has a massive machine gun, and the helicopter's coming, he just lifts it up like Schwarzenegger, and he's holding this massive gun.
After he pulls her out of the dirt hole.
Yeah, it was cool. And I like that they just remain friends, too. They don't, smooch at the end.
Yeah, there was definitely not a romantic vibe to this movie. They didn't try to really sexualize her at all, which was great. She was fit. She was funny. It wasn't about how hot she is. As a woman, I really appreciate it. I mean, she was just a kick-butt female, and it wasn't about her outfit or something.
They should have thrown Daniel Craig or Gerard Butler in there, like the other two Tomb Raiders. Just had them be rakish. No, I'm joking. No to taking away from Wu. Wu could have beaten him up.
Yeah, Daniel Wu is everything.
Yeah, right.
He needs to be in more. And I think that's why we love Into the Badlands so much. It was great when Nick Frost pops up. And then at the end, too.
Oh, yeah. Then he comes back and she gets her guns, her patented 2 guns.
Her H&K. And she's got a really cheeky moment there, too. I'll take 2.
Yeah. So we're not going to get a sequel, which stinks. But this movie's good enough. It's fun to leave it with it.
No, I love this movie. I would definitely watch it again. We've watched it a couple times now. We've owned it, so.
All right, cool. So, hey, let's take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about A Simple Favor. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. We're going to talk about A Simple Favor.
I was so excited for this movie to come out. I love Paul Feig. Feig? How do you say it?
Feig.
Paul Feig.
But whenever I keep Paul Feig, but I always go back to Paul Feig because that's what I said for the longest time. And then there's Kevin Feige out there.
Oh, yeah.
So then you're like, well, is it Feige? But it's Feig, even though I say Feig. It's Feig. Kevin Feig.
Well, ever since Blake Lively started promoting this on her Instagram, I was excited because love him, love Anna Kendrick.
You know, she gave him tips on how to do his Instagram and how not to wear people out on social media. So you give people new stuff, but you can't do all the same thing because you'll burn people out. So there's an art to how she does her social media. That's
very interesting. And all her posts are typically very funny.
I should look into that for Movies, Films, and Flicks. I just bombard people with stuff.
Blake Lively's social media strategy.
She needs to do TED Talks.
I mean, she might, yeah. I think she'd have some good material.
All right, so we do have a question before we get into this, and this is spoilers. So this question is from Sean, and he asks, how long did it take Blake Lively's character to replace everything to put all of her stuff back into the closet after Anna Kendrick threw it all away? Which is a fair question.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big closet. It's probably the size of, one of the guest bedrooms in our house?
Yeah, I mean, it's the size, think in your head of a guest bedroom. And just then
line the walls with fancy racks and shelves for shoes, maybe an island in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, she probably had 200 pairs of shoes.
Oof, at least.
And then she had
purses and dresses and bins of stuff. She had that one rack where there was a dress hanging waiting for you. So there was an ottoman that you would sit on in there. It's quite fabulous.
So let's say she takes all those hangers, right? And all those clothes. She doesn't. What we see from Kendrick is she doesn't take them off the hangers, right? So she probably just takes everything and stuffs them into a bag.
Yeah, I mean, where was she actually putting it, though? Were they putting them in bags to go to just out to the curb?
Probably garage.
Yeah, you would think so. Because that's a lot of money to just... These were all designer clothes.
Because we did see her take them out of the room.
Yes, we did. Well, we saw her... I think we did, because we've only seen this in the theater.
There's a shot, though, where it's empty.
She's piling a bunch of things on the ottoman. We're assuming, she would take it out to the trash, maybe Goodwill, maybe put it in a car. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe she didn't know. Let's say it's in the garage. What do you think?
That seems fair. I mean, like I was saying, these are fancy duds.
How many garbage bags?
Oof.
You think?
I mean, if it was the really, really big kind that you use for outdoor yard work, maybe 5 or more.
So then it would take her probably... To pick the bag up is heavy, so to go upstairs about 40 seconds, right? And then to come back down. So to go up and down, going fast, let's just say 90 seconds.
At least, yeah.
All right, so 90 seconds, and then there's 5 of those.
And she's got to put everything back onto the hangers.
Yeah. So we're already
onto the rack. You're guessing some of these things would have slipped off the hanger, right?
Yeah, so we're already we're over 7 minutes.
All the shoes have to be matched again.
And then she had to get her shoes back up there. So let's say... 10 minutes. No, doesn't seem... 10 minutes
15,
to take 5 bags.
20.
10 minutes to take 10 bags. That's a lot. That's not... All right, so let's say 15 minutes to take all the bags up, right?
I mean, if you're really committed to this happening, just to freak someone out.
She probably had to hurry.
I'm sure.
All right, so 15 minutes to get all these bags up there.
Yeah, because if you think about it, she probably dumped all the shoes just into the bag. Then you have to rematch them and put them back.
And so if there's 200 pairs of shoes and you have to rematch them and put them back in the same spot... So for each pair of shoes, let's say that's 30 seconds.
Yeah, fair.
All right, so then we're at 1 minute. We're at 50 minutes for all the shoes. So right now we're at 65 minutes. And then to take everything out of the bags one at a time.
So, I mean, at that point, Anna Kendrick would have, had to leave the house, go back to her house maybe. She's boxing some more stuff up. Maybe she records a vlog.
Yeah.
While she's boxing. Because there was a vlog where she had boxes in the background.
So we're at 65 minutes. So to hang up all her clothes.
Back.
We think a half hour to hang up all... No, that's probably 20...
That's a lot. I mean, you could probably do it in bunches.
20 minutes to hang up all of her stuff?
Yeah.
All right, so we're at 85 minutes. So let's add in a little bit of time, hour and a half. And she's good in this. She's fast.
Yeah, no,
she knows her closet.
She's definitely superhuman.
So she probably, even if shoes, she probably just knew where the shoes went. Even if there was one, she would just put it. But also, I think Anna Kendrick in this movie is she pays a lot of attention to detail. So when she packs things up, she doesn't do it like a maniac. Mm-hmm. Even when she was packing them away, it was very organized. Mm-hmm. You know, she probably wanted to give them away, so she didn't want to put shoes in the wrong place.
Or just put them in the wrong bags, maybe one shoe there. So
she did her a favor.
A simple favor?
Yeah, she did her a simple favor by allowing that. So what do you think, hour and a half?
Yeah, I think it's doable.
Minimum, hour and a half.
I mean, when we've moved and had to unpack and repack a closet, if everything's still on a hanger, it's not too bad.
Yeah, so that's about the same amount of time it took the Joker to set up his weapon circle in the Suicide Squad, which I timed out. I should write this post. I probably can't do it for a while because that's a big spoiler.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you'd have to get into the why and the backstory.
Yeah, I'd have to wait like a couple. I could just sit on this for a couple years.
Or even just until next year.
Yeah, but that's a big spoiler. Because then you know she's alive.
True.
You can't put that out. But yeah, well, that's a good question, Sean. So thank you for sending that in. That was a fun answer. Hour and a half. I like that.
I think it's good.
So you know what this movie, Paul Feig calls it?
What?
A thriller. Not a thriller. Thriller.
With an F?
Yeah. A thriller. Like a fun thriller.
That's cool.
Yeah, so he calls it a thriller, not a thriller. Thriller.
There were definitely more places I wanted to laugh in this movie than the audience in our theater was. I think that they were there for maybe a Blake Lively movie, and they didn't quite always get the tone of it. They definitely got into it further along, but at the beginning there were definitely some places where I could have laughed out loud.
I mean, there's some big laughs in here. There's a scene where Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively, or their characters' names are Emily. Blake Lively's Emily, and Anna Kendrick is Stephanie Smothers. But there's a scene where they kiss, and then when they get done, Blake Lively's like, "You want some pizza?"
That was funny. Yeah, the audience definitely caught on that part. But one of my favorite jokes was at the very beginning when Emily comes to pick her son up from school, and Stephanie is there with the two boys because they're friends, her son and Emily's son. And she's asking about a play date. She said, "Do you drink?" And then she asked, "Does your kid drink?"
Yeah. I think you're joking.
And she was like, "Well, either way, let's go. Hey, it's never too early to start." Our audience didn't quite laugh at that, but it was very funny.
Do you think it was in the preview, that's why?
Was it? I don't remember. I've only seen the teasers on Blake Lively's Instagram.
Yeah, that was like the trailer that they showed on all of it. So maybe the people had seen it. It's a good bit, though.
It is a good bit.
I mean, the actors are really good. Kendrick, Lively, also Henry Golding is really good in it.
Yeah, it was good to see him so soon after Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah, he's crushing it in this. They want him to be Bond. People are pushing him for him to be Bond.
Wow. That's a lot. That's a big promotion.
Oh, we got Daniel Craig, right? So he'll have time to... He should do like a test action movie.
I think he's got the look.
Yeah, so he should do an action film.
He's still new to acting, though. So yeah, he probably does need to... prove himself a little bit more?
Yeah, well, yeah, because Pierce Brosnan was experienced. Dalton was experienced. The only guy that really wasn't was he was in her Secrets. Wait, what's the Secret Service of Her Majesty's Secret Service? He was the Australian dude who hadn't acted much. Roger, son of George Thorogood. No, he sings one bourbon, one scotch, one beer. George Lazenby.
Yes,
there it is. It's a good song though, by the way. So I think give him an action movie, right? Mm-hmm. Give him some time to get better with these things and then make him Bond. Would people lose their minds?
People are so opinionated about Bond. I mean, you've seen the polls that come out and people freak out if it's even one hint of a direction that they're not happy with.
They hated that Daniel Craig was blonde.
I know.
That was a thing.
People are mental over Bond.
But imagine the international box office with Henry Golding. Imagine, the box office in China. I mean, Daniel Wu, like we said earlier, they love him there, so that made a ton of money there. The market would be massive for him.
I think it would be a lot of fun, but I do think he needs to prove it a little bit more. I mean, this is his second movie?
Yeah, he's done 2, but he's good. He's very natural.
Very functional, and he's likable. He's,
I like that Paul Feig, he called John M. Chu, the director of Crazy Rich Asians, and he's like, "Listen, man, I met this guy, and he's awesome." But he goes, "Can he act?" Because no one had seen Crazy Rich Asians yet. And Chu was like, "Yeah, he can. He's just new. He's good, but he's just new. So you got to like work with him.
Yeah, I saw an interview with Chu on Crazy Rich Asians, and when he did a screen test, he tried very hard to act. But John was just telling Henry, no, just be yourself. I want that guy. Your Instagram presence is just fantastic, and this is the personality I want. Just do that. So
that's like when Jason Statham asked Paul Feig if you should be funny in Spy. And he's like, no, I want you to read it just like your action movies. So he didn't want Statham acting funny.
He's such a delight in that movie.
Yeah, they love each other. They're huge fans.
His scenes are so Rick Ford. He's just ridiculous.
You know, the studio, they don't want more Kingsman, or they don't want more Spy because Kingsman made more money. But Kingsman's cheap, more expensive. So the return on investment might be bigger for Spy.
Honestly, when I saw Spy, I know we're just diving off into Paul Feig territory, but I hadn't laughed that hard at a movie, and I can't remember when. I mean, I just laughed at that movie constantly.
Yeah, the scene where Jason Statham's talking about the face-off machine.
I know you got one.
Yeah, or the scene where they...
Do you have quarters?
Who's the lady that's so funny that's friends with... I need quarters? Who's the friend of Melissa McCarthy in there? And she's, Big A, Big A! And then she makes a fart noise and says that Melissa McCarthy has problems.
Oh, I can't think of her
That
name
whole movie's
now.
funny.
It's hilarious.
The auto-tune when Rick Ford!
Well, and just the strange little friendship between Raina and Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they become bud. And then the slutty dolphin trainer dress.
She's like, you're going to miss me in prison.
I'm going to tweet Paul Feig and just ask him what came first, the slutty dolphin trainer line or the dress. I wonder if he wrote the line and they made the dress, or if she just had a dress and Melissa McCarthy or him thought about it.
I'm hoping that they came up with it on the fly because they already had the dress, because Paul Feig is very tuned into fashion, as we know, and that neoprene fabric, for a while there, it was very popular for dresses and tight skirts.
I just think that's funny if you write a line and actually make the dress for it.
Mm.
All right, so simple favor. Everyone's dressed immaculately in this movie.
They're just fabulously. I mean, Stephanie's a little bit dorky, but she gets a little bit more fabulous throughout the movie. Did you notice that? She starts wearing lipstick after Emily goes missing.
Smothers. But, I mean, Blake is always ridiculously dressed. There's that scene where she's in a suit.
Oh my gosh, she's fabulous.
Her gloves on. Why does she have gloves on?
No, she has bright red gloves on.
Yeah, why?
And she looks fantastic. I don't know. It works.
She probably just wanted a scene to look awesome.
Well, she's what? The head of PR for a...
Rupert Friend.
For a fashion designer.
Oh, so speaking of that, we were really excited to see Daniel Wu in Tomb Raider, but we were really excited to see Rupert Friend in this movie, just being totally cheeky as a designer, wearing crazy clothes, because in Homeland, for the last few seasons, he's been nothing but depressed.
He's been very serious, very melodramatic. In the latest season,
he's suffering from...
Actually, we haven't seen the latest season. The one before that...
Yeah.
He's got some issues because he was poisoned.
He was dead and they brought him back.
Very serious.
Yeah, and he couldn't talk and he had a lot of problems. And so now to see him act as like a human.
He's not human. He's ridiculous, but he's so funny.
He didn't look real. He looked plastic.
Oh, he was super tan too. They definitely sprayed a tan on him there. His skin was edging into the territory where it was the same color as his roots.
Yeah, he looked like a plastic doll. And I think my favorite Anna Kendrick reaction shot ever is... Whatever, let's just talk about the movie. So we know that Blake Lively, she fakes her death in this movie, and they're at the funeral. And the Rupert Friend, the designer, is there, and Anna Kendrick looks over at him, and he's just staring at her, and Anna Kendrick kind of does this, why are you looking at me? Like this real awkward look. It's really funny.
You know what? It was because she was staring up at Henry Golding, the husband of the girl going in the grave.
Yeah.
And she's kind of giving him eyes.
And Rupert caught it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's interesting about this movie? Paul Feig was talking about this. It was only a $20 million budget, by the way. And it's made about 40-something now. So they're thinking it's going to end its run at 80. And it only dropped 37% this weekend, which is really good. 35%. But this script was written by Jessica Scharzer. She wrote Nerve, and she also does American Horror Story. But they didn't...
Nerve was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a good one. They didn't have time to improv, but they did line readings differently. So this, after everything has to be so tight... Like, you couldn't fake, you can't improv on a thriller. So they would just have her do different levels of confusion and you said that in this movie, if you watch her, didn't you tell me that she's all elbows?
She had great reactions. Yeah. I mean, she was very awkward. She'd do some little squirrely thing with her eyes or her face. It was funny. I mean, it definitely caught your attention. I guess she's your leading lady, not really Blake.
You know, I mean, she's really good in this, Anna Kendrick.
Yeah, I didn't know that she could carry a movie like this, and she did good.
Yeah. And so this is random, but there's a couple of sex scenes in this movie, and they're talking to Paul Feig about how he does it. And on Happy Sad Confused, like you said that yourself that you're a horrible late bloomer.
What?
Like that's what Paul Feig tells people. And he said
about himself?
Yeah, and he said he hates like sex scenes in movies, so he said he had a really hard time directing these, but they were necessary for this movie.
They should have just inserted that one from the credits in Spy with Melissa McCarthy and Jason Statham into this movie.
Yeah, he said he didn't want to. He doesn't like. So he did Weeds, that show Weeds, and he told a funny story about there was just some random sex scenes. He's like, I don't want to hire poor actors to do this, so they hired a bunch of porn stars. And then he was just like, how do you guys do this? And they're like, well, we would do this and this. He's like, okay, you guys go do it.
Oh,
and then he didn't even watch. They just filmed it. And then the porn stars directed themselves. He's like, this is what happened. He's like, that's fine. But in this movie, I don't know. I just thought that was a random aside from a podcast I heard from him, which is pretty funny.
That's entertaining.
But yeah, so this movie, I mean, they're necessary though. Like she kind of, between Henry Golding and Blake Lively, how they do that. And then Henry Golding and Anna Kendrick. I want to say Little Anna. That's so bad.
Yeah.
Well, I guess right next to Blake.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. I mean, especially because Blake has on these fabulous heels in all of her outfits, so she's extra tall compared to Anna Kendrick.
There's some scenes where you just feel like Blake could eat Kendrick alive.
What?
The characters.
Yeah, I think that's the idea, too. She's got this, Vulpine kind of thing going on. She's predatory and smart and alert. I mean, you think of a PR mogul for a fashion brand, they've got to be on.
A lot of people said that this movie is like the little baby sister of Gone Girl, but it's nothing like it.
No.
I mean, it is based on a book, and then it was later adapted. So I don't think it is a Gone Girl ripoff at all.
Well, it's a genre film, like you've been saying. They are playing on the tropes. There are other movies out there that are like Gone Girl.
But to say that it's a Gone Girl, then what's all the femme fatale movies of the 40s and 30s? You know, like that. You know what I mean, though. Like movies,
or even the edgier version in the Swedish Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series. I mean, I feel like it's along those lines too. It's added in this weird dark humor, which, to be perfectly honest, is probably my favorite kind.
But so I know this is really random, but I was reading an article about Mandy, the Nicolas Cage movie. That's probably one of my favorite movies of the year. But it's oppressively dark for the first hour. But then there's this scene where they show this TV commercial of a cheddar goblin vomiting mac and cheese onto these kids' heads. And it's really funny. But you just witnessed the love of Nicolas Cage's life being burnt alive after a scene before that where just oppressively bleak. But then you see this and you start laughing. And that's what in this movie has. Like, you know, the kiss scene, she's like, oh, I want pizza. Or there's always some good humor. But there's also, I think another one of my favorite lines is, Anna Kendrick goes to Blake Lively's house after Blake Lively goes missing because she wants to piece it together, and she's putting every part on her blog, becoming more and more popular vlog. She goes to Blake Lively's parents' house, finds out that they were triplets. Faith, Grace.
No, Faith, Chastity, and Hope. Got it.
And so she goes there, and she's talking to the mom, played by Jean Smart from Legion, who's awesome. And the father comes in, and, she's like, oh, thank you for buying these clothes, right? Didn't she?
I think it's the second husband. Didn't the father get killed in the fire?
Yeah, and so it's the second husband. But
yeah, she's playing a gag that she's got a catalog mail order business, Anna Kendrick is, so she doesn't get caught for prying.
And didn't she say you got some Givenchy or something? Didn't she say something like that? Like she ordered some certain outfits that she quoted.
Yeah, maybe like a tracksuit or something.
Yeah, and as Anna Kendrick's driving away,
she runs out of the house because she thinks she's getting caught.
And there's this car that speeds up behind her, and this old guy catches up to her, pulls up, and
bangs on her window.
Yeah, and locks the gate. He's like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, "Crap! Like this is gonna end bad." Then he walks up to her. He's like, "I want an extra large sweater, green or something like blue."
Yeah.
Does he say that?
I think it was the blue blazer large.
Yeah, so you think there's going to be this gunfight, but there's actually something he wanted from that catalog.
That's so funny.
But, I don't know, I guess we're jumping all over the place with this movie, but I'm kind of having more fun doing that.
There's just so much to unpack, too. It's a hard movie to discuss, I think, because you don't want to go through the entire plot and re-explain everything. There's enough people out there doing that. It's really fun. I want people to appreciate it for its darkness and its humor.
And there's a lot of scenes where Blake they tell us that she's a liar, a pathological liar.
Oh, a bunch of times.
But you don't know if she's lying or not, right?
Yeah, I think towards the end you start to catch on to her lies, but in the beginning you don't really know. So is she actually Anna's friend? Is she not? What I think is actually one of the funniest things, and I feel like most articles and reviewers out there are missing this joke. They keep going, oh, when Stephanie's best friend, Emily, goes missing. They're not best friends, people.
Yeah, they knew each other for... Well, how long did they know each other? Because...
Maybe a few weeks.
Yeah, and they just kind of... I think Blake just likes hearing stories about Kendrick.
I think she's a manipulator, and she likes to use stuff to her advantage. I mean, she's done it over time.
And also, there's a scene in this movie. This is going to get us our PG-13, but we find out that Anna Kendrick is a brother fucker.
Oh my gosh.
So they tell each other their darkest secrets, and it turns out that when Anna Kendrick's father passed away, her half-brother came into town that they didn't know, and that night they slept together.
And apparently he's also the spitting image of her dad.
Yeah, so she's having relationships.
Dark.
But this isn't a big theme in the movie, though. It's very...
No, it's not. It's just used for jokes. It is such a dark... Well, it kind of is, because Stephanie's got this sadness because she's been alone. Her husband is dead.
Yeah, and then
the two most important men in her life.
Her husband found out about it.
And thinks her son is actually...
Yeah, the brothers. And because they kept the relationship going, the brother and Kendrick. And then the guy basically kills him. Murder-suicide?
Yeah, he runs them into a concrete pylon on the highway.
So her husband and half-brother die because of the husband doing that, right?
Yeah.
And so she's by herself. She's living off his insurance money, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's where Blake Lively gets the idea to knock herself off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's where it comes
because her twin sister wants money.
No, I think she does it to disappear, right? So she can go off and live a life. Yeah, but her sister did want to... I don't know. I mean, it's a little bit convoluted, the whole thing with her family there.
Yeah. But...
She comes after her because what? Her husband posts something about her on social media?
He put one thing on Facebook and
the sister was able to track her down?
Yeah, so in the trailer, there's a scene where Anna Kendrick takes a photo of her, and she's like, don't take my photo. So she wants no photos because her sister can track her. The cops probably still want to talk to her.
I'm sure. I mean, she's probably left a trail of lots of people who are not happy with her. Her ex-girlfriend in New York.
That's funny. So she has this
knife artist.
She has this ex-girlfriend who was a great artist, but then she just became obsessed with Blake Lively and kept painting Blake, and everyone hated it. And then she lost all motivation, so she's painting knives, which are really good, but no one buys them. Oh man, what's her name? She was in Freaks and Geeks with Paul Feig. And she was in... I'm going to look this up. But I love that scene, though, where she says, they're great knives.
They look really good, but nobody wants to buy them. Yeah, she's a delight for all of, 3 or 4 minutes in the movie, but it's a funny little scene.
Just to see her do something different. Oh, it's Linda Cardinelli from, I keep thinking Scooby-Doo. Which is weird. Did you ever watch those Scooby-Doo movies?
Yeah. With Freddie Prinze Jr.?
Yeah, that's right. So... But I want one of those knife paintings, because that's a funny bit.
They were really good.
So, I guess, we don't want to give away everything, right? We don't need to recap this.
Especially not the twists at the end, because it's so much fun. I will say this, I read something about the twist at the end when they were playing it out. I guess, so you said that they didn't do a lot of improv, but... One of the things that they had written into playing out that scene didn't work, and they had to hash it out and refigure out one of the elements on set, and then work that into what they were doing that day.
Well, that's cool. I want to work on his movies because they do French hours. 10-hour days.
Yeah, what did he say? This was in the context of the aviation gin that...
Blake Schlack's in this movie.
It gives him a chance to wrap up for the day and then go get a drink.
Yeah. So the French hours, they just shoot 10 hours a day. Normal productions are 12 hours. So they go, which is pretty awesome. So they shoot 10 hours. He wears his suit. Then he goes have a drink. But he's like, Blake doesn't drink. So she's housing water in this movie. But she looks like a total...
She looks hydrated. She looks fabulous.
But she's definitely doing a good job selling her husband's gin.
I mean... Paul did say that he wouldn't have used it if the bottle didn't look good on the screen, so they've got that going for him.
He also said that this movie is a total flip. Anna's the acerbic, dry, sarcastic one who can just rip you to shreds.
Oh, yeah.
But then Blake's like an Earth Mother.
Yeah, if you look at each of their social media stuff individually, yeah, Anna Kendrick's definitely the sarcastic, witty one. And Blake Lively is typically the more jokey, nice humor type of person. But she's unhinged in this movie. She's very interesting to watch.
And then what about Henry Golding? What did you think about him in this movie?
I thought he did really good. I mean, he wasn't given a whole lot in the movie, but yeah, he does well. I do like the whole aside that he really is kind of hooking up with his TA.
Yeah. He is.
Like, he's got a shifty little side life, too.
He gets played in this movie, though, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. He's kind of a dum-dum.
He is, but I think he's up to some of his own stuff.
Gotcha. So would you recommend this movie to people?
I would definitely recommend this movie. If you like dark humor, if you like twisty kind of crime stuff, this is a fun story for you to sort of figure out along the way. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing it again. So now that we've seen everything that plays out, I want to go notice stuff in the beginning that we might have missed.
And this is a breezy, quick movie. It goes by quick. It's fast. It doesn't drag.
Yeah, I think that's probably the humor in it for me.
Yeah.
There are some definitely dark humorous movies that we like out there. The Guard and...
Oh, Calvary? Well, that's not as funny.
War on Everyone.
In Bruges. If y'all haven't watched War on Everyone, you need to do it. Because it does have a vibe of early 90s Tarantino. And it does, in the beginning, try a little hard. But once you get into the dialogue and the vibe of it all, it's just amazing. It's mean. It's
so mean. But I think that's why it's funny.
But this movie is mean, but it has some heart, too. It's not overly mean.
This is definitely a different Blake Lively for us, but I really enjoyed her like this. I'd love to see her do more of this kind of stuff. We've seen her a couple times recently in The Shallows, and I would love to see her do this kind of stuff more.
Yeah, Shallows, she definitely acts, and she carries a movie on her own, and I think a lot of actors have to be able to do that. If you think about what Ryan Reynolds did, the Coffin movie by himself.
Oh, yeah.
The Wall, it's just that guy. So, survival movies with one person, that's been a long trope. So she survived that. She did a good job. So
literally,
I like to see her do more, like more roles, be able to act, even though she acted in The Shallows.
Yeah, with all the publicity for this movie, you definitely sort of go in with the assumption that she's the lead and she's the main character, but you find out it's actually Anna.
I'm telling you all, if you want to make money on a movie, cast Blake Lively and Henry Golding, because and The Rock. They would just promote the living daylights out of it on Instagram.
Oh yeah, on their feeds.
The Rock blasts you with it.
Does he? I haven't followed him.
And Blake's more smart about it.
Knowing that we were doing this podcast and the one for Crazy Rich Asians, I flipped through Henry Golding's post and he's definitely out there promoting it. He does pictures from every premiere. Yeah, his presence is there.
Nice. All right, so so I guess we're good on. You definitely recommend this?
Oh, definitely.
Awesome. So
it's a fun date night.
I want to say thank you to Sean for the great question. Also, if anybody wants to go to iTunes and rate, review, and subscribe to the #1 ranked podcast on Ranker, go to Ranker, Best Movie Podcast. You will see it at the #1 spot, which is pretty amazing. Thank you for doing that. Also, if you have any listener questions, in the upcoming weeks, we're going to be talking about Live Free or Die Hard, The 13th Warrior, Big Trouble in Little China, Ready to Rumble, and we're going to talk about the jerky moves of Michael Myers. So if you have any questions about any of those podcast topics, let us know. Also, make sure to check out Tomb Raider. I guarantee you're going to like it. Also, check out A Simple Favor. And so for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, and for Megan Hoffmeyer, thank you for coming on.
Talk to you soon.
This is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.